Did you know that that's a ledger? I didn't know that. I thought a ledger were the accounts or the debtor creditor parts of an account of a corporation, company, some form of commercial entity. But I didn't know that a ledger was the slab of stone that sits on top of a grave or a tomb. I didn't know that. Ignorance. Now, according to the Webster's dictionary, the big thick one that I love reading, dates back a few years, the word ledger also derives from lie, to lie. And something that is lying flat has no standing. So it's not a part of the jurisdiction of whatever you're involved in. It's another strange thing. So does that mean that the word ledger that also derives from lie? Does it mean that the accounts or the ledgers or the debtor creditor parts of the accounts that appear in the mail from government bodies, banks, power companies, etc., are they saying that they're a lie? Some form of a lie? Not only does the word ledger derive from lie, it also means the bait on a hook, which is interesting, because are they saying that the ledgers that appear in the mail, in the articles from our governments, banks, power companies, etc., are not only a lie, but they are also a trap, a bait, some sort of a snare that snares us into falling for something that maybe we didn't know what we were talking about or didn't know what was happening. Another strange thing about it is the word, the bait on the hook is connected to a line connected to the bank. That's how it works. Which is funny, because it's strange how the bank always offers you a line of credit. So is the word saying that that the line of credit is some form of a bait, a trap that renders you subject to some sort of a grave or tomb, dead, rendered dead. Another funny part about the word ledger is when these ledgers come in the mail, the writing you will find on them is a form of sign language, which also appears on the tombstones, which is an all uppercase text, which does not cannot be found in the Oxford English Manual of Styles. It doesn't exist there, so therefore it has no jurisdiction with the English language. It's foreign. It's a foreign type font, which is also a strange thing. And it would make you wonder if this is a symbolic text or a sign. Is it an engraved image that God warned us not to worship? Worship. And yet, when this type of writing, this sign language that is identified as American ASL, American Sign Language, in 11147 of the Chicago Manual of Styles, it even states there that it has no jurisdiction with the English language. It's a foreign language. So is that why the articles that come in the mail are sealed? You must break the seal in order to enter into, to worship another deity, another language, another god. And is it the god of sign? Is it really the god of death? Another strange thing is when the articles appear in the mail, They come inside an envelope. They come inside an envelope that has the same 2-to-1 ratio as the ledgers, the slabs of stone that sit on the grave. When you get a normal letter from a friend, the letter envelope is not the same ratio as the dead ledgers of a tomb. Yet the accounts, the ledgers that come from your governments, power companies, banks, etc., all appear under the articles that appear under the same ratio as the ledgers found on a tombstone. You see, when people say they haven't got full disclosure or haven't had full disclosure in relation to a contract or whatever, the full disclosure is in the word itself. The very word is telling you exactly what you're getting into. By breaking the seals of those ledgers that appear in the mail, you enter into an occult world of the dead. And there's something you must always remember, is that a dead man has no rights. So when you get involved in some form of a contract from one of these places, such as foreign governments or corporate governments, foreign banking entities, power companies that belong to such foreign banks, then you may find yourself in deep trouble if you crack open those seals of those dead ledger accounts, because you will render yourself as dead. The only thing I could probably advise, if I were to advise anything, is that we as Australians and we as Americans and Canadians and the people of England, the people of their own countries, should start being more vigilant and question just who is sending us these ledgers. Who is our government? Who's really behind the governing system of this new world order that we're fastly being involved in, or if not, it's already here. Because it's an occult world of the dead, where dead men have no rights. So, the ledger, the accounts that come in the mail, also the stone that sits on a grave, derives from a lie, is the bait on a hook. And houses the language of sign, the engraved images, where you're warned to stay away from.